I'm going to hit record so I don't forget it.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
And I'm going to go ahead and play, I'm going to mute us and play the outro music.
Yeah, we got to come up with something, some kind of little...
Pre-thing?
Like little waiting music. Oh, there we go.
This is the Nerdy Old Men Podcast, recognized by City View Magazine as best of the best in podcasts. And here are your hosts, the Old Bald Man Chad and Redneck Wes. Good morning, Wes.
Hey, buddy.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm better now that I got the volume up
Yeah,
there. There we go.
yeah. What's happening, man?
Well, went to the cardiologist.
Yay!
And
The vampire took some blood from him.
yes, they did. Run their test. I go back in 6 months, and everything's looking good. Coming off some medicine, so hopefully I don't bruise like a peach anymore.
Well, I can change that for you if you'd like.
Well, yeah, that's
I
true.
could bruise you.
Yes, please don't. I need no help in that. But yeah, so we're
Well,
running
good
a little bit
deal.
late today, but we're still
We're
running.
here. We're here.
Yes.
We're here. It's happy-go-lucky times, yeah. 2025.
Yes,
Yeah.
still haven't got used to that.
Yeah, as we round down this season of the Nerdy Old Men Podcast.
Yes.
We're going to talk about what things are we looking forward to in the year of 2025. So, what have we learned? What have we done?
Survive 2025. That's the first 12 months of 2025 are the roughest to get through, and then once you get through that, it's nothing.
The first 12 months. Well, I mean, before we go into that, what have you been doing, man? I know you got some new toys.
Well, Christmas, Santa Claus was good to me.
Santa Claus.
I got my new.
Wes was like, define naughty.
It was kind of a gray area. Got my first FDM printer.
Yes.
So I'm dabbling into that. So
Welcome to the real frustration of 3D printing.
I got the Creality K1 Max, which is freaking huge.
Yep.
Printed off my first Benchy the other night after being frustrated trying to figure out why it wouldn't feed filament. There was some user error, but there's some really helpful videos on YouTube. So, playing around with it for a little bit and got it working. So I'm looking forward to working on my Magneto costume. We've got some armor pieces for that and the helmet, of course, that I'm going to print off on this. And it's a new adventure. It's it's a little different learning curve than with resin printing. I think you found that out going from FDM to resin.
I mean, and a piece of equipment is the big deal, really. I mean, my Ender 3s are very base, and they're difficult. I mean, they're a workhorse, right? But they can
once you get them dialed
very
in
easily. They can screw up very easily.
Once you get them dialed in, they're great. But when they decide to,
they'll take a shank every now and then.
Yeah.
And like Michel J's big Elegoo that's over here too. I've had
still
issues.
Frustrated.
Yeah, I mean, I got it working. I think some of the files and stuff I've tried to print are not good files, but it's done really well. But the dang Elegoo freaking Mars, or Creality Mars that I've got out there, Howlett Mars, the resin printer.
Yes.
The freaking thing's fantastic.
Now, I will say this about Elegoo. Their resin printers.
Well, this is a Creality, and I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And I told you, I told you that as it gotten colder, it stays out in the garage, and it doesn't have a heater for the resin, so
Yeah.
it's having some failures. So I thought, I'm probably not gonna be able to print anything.
Yeah.
Well, I did a little bit of research, and I went into my settings and looked at the exposure time, and the exposure time preset was like 1.1 seconds.
Oh, you need to change that.
I changed it to 3.
Yeah.
And it prints fine now.
See, on my Elegoo, I've got the the bottom exposure rate set to like 5.
Yeah. I think that's what this one was preset for, but the layer ones,
Yeah.
I moved it up like 2 seconds or 1.9 seconds, I guess what it was technically, and it went from building just the raft
Yeah.
to building a whole model. I mean, so it's done good, and I think I'm going to be able to utilize it.
Well, something that I'm looking forward to. I know this dropped just a few days ago. Uncle Jesse had posted on his YouTube channel. So if you're into 3D printing,
Yeah, he's good.
Uncle Jesse is one that I really highly recommend, especially if you're doing resin printing. Elegoo has come up with their own slicer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of a beta. You can get it from the Elegoo website, but it's still kind of a beta test. Uncle Jesse is. I think he got an advanced copy of it and was playing around with it and made some suggestions and has sent that off to Elegoo, waiting on updates to it. But they've got their own slicer program. And what's neat is it's not just for Elegoo machines. There's other machines on it. But they've got a resin profile, which, most do, but usually they're generic. You can go in and it has specific resins. Like if you're using, I think the one that Uncle Jesse was using was the Elegoo Blue.
Okay.
So you can go in there and tell it that you're using Elegoo Blue, and it'll have all the presets for whatever machine you're using.
Yeah, because it's different
with that resin, which it's their resin, so they've tested it on their machines.
Yeah.
And I thought that was such a cool feature.
I know the Carbon has the thing if you buy from them and it scans you scan, because I was thinking about getting one, but I just
the X1 Carbon from Bamboo Labs.
Yeah, I haven't got the funds together for that, but apparently you scan the spool.
Yes.
And it knows, it's like, okay, well, that's
you're using
red,
this
crystal, whatever, silk, whatever. I need to adjust it to. So that's like idiot proof, and I like that.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Because I'm an idiot. So I like pushing blade.
Well, that's the thing. Like you were talking about, with the Ender, that was the machine everybody learned on.
Yeah, I didn't learn much but frustration
and dirty words.
Love it though. Love it. Don't get me wrong. Love it, and it's printed some good stuff. But I think it has a lifespan.
Well, I mean, it was like on the K1 Max. I went in and you set everything up and pushing the buttons and it's doing its thing, and auto bed leveling is great.
Oh yeah.
But it gave me an error message because something was not correct. And it said, you need to do a firmware update, which is neat because I have it in the garage. but it's wireless.
Yeah, so to your Wi-Fi.
So
yeah.
I just told it, okay, do the update. Went through, did the next one, and then I've got.
It's good to go.
Well, what was wild was, the little boat benchies.
Yeah.
16 minutes. I'm like, I'm like, if you did this in resin, that's like 9 to 12 hours to print.
Yeah.
That.
But as we said before, resin and FDM are
Two different
are
applications.
two different things.
Yeah.
I mean, you could put 15 miniatures on a resin build plate, and it will take the same amount of time as one.
Yes.
Whereas FDM is entirely different.
Yes.
The more stuff you have on the plate, the longer it takes.
Well, and the quality, if
that's
you're
true.
doing the fine detail stuff,
Well,
I mean, there's
I'm
they
talking about
made a
just
jump.
time. I'm talking about just time.
Oh yeah, time wise, resin. If you're doing one, if you're doing 100
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
coming out of the vat,
That's why, like, if I've had failures in certain parts of a model, like a couple of them, I got this. I'm doing this Groku
Yes.
from Dragon Ball Z for my brother. Is that his name?
Grogu from Dragon Ball Z.
Goku. See, I'm not a.
Grogu is that little guy on the shelf.
I said
That's Star Wars.
I said Groku. I put both their names
Okay.
together. It's Goku.
Okay, so you've done either
Yeah.
the fusion dance or the part.
Yeah. Yeah. So some of the parts in that particular scope just didn't do well.
Well, I did the
So
same thing.
I have taken and then like other parts for other models. So I just put them on the same build plate
Exactly.
and redo them.
Yeah.
Because it one part or 5 parts, I just put them all on one plate. And
Terrence
redo 'em,
is
the miniature
Dwarven Cleric.
Yeah.
God bless. I had so much trouble like getting that one dialed in. I don't know why. Because he made it in Hero Forge. I've printed a ton of miniatures in Hero Forge.
It's the
but
character. It's not the
it
miniatures.
had to be. Lathander was not with me.
Yeah, that's true.
That
Very,
fit that.
very true.
But I had like 5 to 6 minis, and I would orient them different ways to see what would work.
Which one?
So
would
there's
be
a
best.
box I have of Dwarven Cleric minis that are in different levels of failure. So I'm like, if I ever need like a zombie horde of dwarves,
I've got a little pile of parts out there. I mean, they're like slightly wrong. Little things,
Yeah.
I got a head and a face and an arm, and
But you can take this one.
I've got an upper arm, the mechanical one from
Cable.
out there because I printed an extra one because
it didn't quite look
it wasn't.
right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I've got all
Well,
these
see, I
other
did
parts.
that like Chad just painted some minis for us for our Call of Cthulhu, if I can
yes.
talk.
Easy for you to say.
Yes. And I had did one for Josh, and his guy has a sword, and he's holding
Yeah.
the sword down. And I get it, and I don't know if I had hit the table or if there was something, but there's just this little bit of a kick to the sword. It's not perfectly straight.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing. It's
That's not the one you sent me, right?
No, I
started saying, 'cause I didn't
reprinted
see
it.
anything wrong with those.
Well, that's why, because I took pictures and I'm like, guys, I'm not really happy. I'm gonna have to redo these. And they're like, what's wrong with it? I'm like, well, the sword is bent. And he goes, I don't see it. I'm like, doesn't matter. I do.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not gonna.
I'd have seen it when I had my glasses or my magnifiers.
Oh no, it
on.
was one of those I could notice it without.
Yeah,
But
okay.
it was just enough that there was like some kind of layer shift. Something happened. You get those sometimes printing. It's part of it.
Yeah.
But when you've got a machine dialed in, 3D printing can be so much fun. So
It was fun painting those.
I'm looking forward to building with the K1 Max.
Yeah.
See what
you'll be able to do
comes
some
up with
cool
it.
stuff. Well, I mean, for me, what's new? I painted those guys for you, which was a nice break.
Something a little different.
Well, figure wise, I mean, other than the statues, which is like the thing I love the most, but I'd been doing. I hadn't painted any Star Wars Legion stuff in a while because I hadn't needed to.
Yes.
But I've been doing, World War II, 35th scale vehicles and units. You probably can't really see that too well on the camera, but these are in the weathering and decal stage. So I've been doing those, and for Christmas, Mom, love you. You bought me a crap ton of.
I ran into her at the grocery
that
store.
pile over there, I'm good for the
And
winter, dude.
She was telling me, she goes, I got Chad a bunch of it. I'm like, he's going to love that.
There's some awesome models over there. So I'm excited about that. But so that'll be my next thing. Once I finish the German machine gunners, World War II, and then me and my brother, Michel J, we split the Marvel Crisis Protocol core set.
Yes.
And then I bought the monster set. I know I mentioned in the last episode, but I painted all of those. Now my brother he's got some X-Men characters at home that he's doing. So I just got to clear coat them dudes and do the terrain that came with it, and then I'll be done with that, and then I'm going to move on to a new project.
So that's going to be the next game that y'all learn.
Well, just, and I think it's going to be pretty fun. So you'll have to come over sometime because I know you love comics, and it's a pretty easy one to learn.
Yeah.
Everything's on the card for each of the characters. It's a pretty cool thing, and you can mix match characters, and it's pretty fun, man. The from what I've read, I haven't played anything, but I mean, you can pick up, if your character can pick up something and throw it, you can pick up something and throw it, or you can throw somebody into it. And it'll destroy the terrain. You remove the terrain, and it's pretty neat. Each character technically dies twice. I mean, you get I forgot what the term is. You knocked out or dazed. I think and when you do, you flip the card over. In the next round, you have to play with the stats on the backside of the card.
Okay.
So it's reduced or whatever. Some people get better, some people get worse. It's pretty cool. It's a quicker game. We bought a mat, which is over there, which is a city street.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty cool. And the neat thing about that mat is, and I bought it from a place on Etsy, it shows for the different game types, you put the tokens in different places, it has them labeled.
Oh, okay.
So it's pre-measured. So you're putting...
You know where everything's
I
at.
think there's extracts and then control points or something like that. But whatever it is, depending on what mission you're playing or whatever, it's already pre-labeled. You just put them down, which is pretty cool for that mat. You don't have to measure jack.
I'll have to check with my buddy Josh Uten, because Uten was a big fan of HeroClix.
I'd say it's similar.
And I remember one time that I actually got to play that. He was having a Christmas party, and he was begging everyone to play this, and so everybody kind of was like, yeah, and he was all excited, but he's the only one that really knows the rules for it. And I'm like, well, it's kind of like D&D, isn't it? And he's like, well, for the most part, you turn the base and it would tell you which that they've made simpler, sounds like, by doing the cards. And he's like, I'm really wanting to play. I'm like, dude, I'll be the bad guy. I don't care. Yeah. So he gave me like the animal. He had so many points, and so he gave me the anti-monitor, and I had so many points. So I think I had Darkseid and Evil Superman, and some guys, and was beating the tar out of everybody. And they were getting mad. I had some Sentinels, and he was so worried about the Sentinels. I'm like, you're not worried about the anti-monitor? He goes, man, the Sentinels get stronger when the more you tear them up, the stronger they get.
There's Sentinels in this too, which is pretty
cool.
And so
I'm wondering if like kind of the stats are similar to that. So
it's pretty neat, man. And there's like affiliations. So like, I'm trying to collect all the spider foes because I like the spider foes in Marvel.
Yeah, the Sinister Six.
Yeah, and I got to get, oh gosh, I can't even remember what I got to get. Kingpin, I still got to get Kingpin, and I think he might be the only one I don't have for the one. But if you play your team as an affiliation, you get bonus stuff.
It's like if you're playing X-Men or Fantastic
you don't
Four.
have to.
Yeah.
You can mix that stuff around. Yeah.
But you can do like the moves like the one that always comes to mind is the fastball special. Okay. That's where Colossus would pick Wolverine up and throw him.
Right.
And you could do that in the game, and he did more damage if you threw him.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. And then you got like little guys like Toad.
Yeah.
Which is like really cheap, but apparently he's really fast. So people will take him to run out and grab those evac, whatever they call them, the objectives that can move.
Yeah.
They run out and grab them.
Like
and
there's
run
a case or something.
Yeah. And it'll run off and things like that.
So that's a tactic I used in BattleTech when we were playing BattleTech is you had so much tonnage.
Yeah.
So you could have the number of mechs equal to
right?
To that, don't get me started. Don't get me started.
It's pretty cheap too. It looks like,
but that you had a tonnage that you had, and I would always end up with like 5 tons left over, and I'm like, what can I get? And I would get a hovercraft, just for the simple fact it was it didn't do any damage or anything, unless you were playing like with actual troops, and we never did because we always played with mechs because, big robot.
Why wouldn't
Come on,
you?
yeah.
Duh.
But the fact I would put my targeting computer on it and move it around and get it in positions and then use it, so you got the bonuses off of it.
Yep.
So, kind of min-maxing for BattleTech.
Oh, yeah.
But it's one of those games I really like.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of excited that it's come back out. We'll have to wait and see what they've done.
There's a local thing of guys that play it. It's really neat. I mean,
He says local, yet I'm 45 minutes away.
well, what I'm saying is, it's like, I know you and Jason loaded it a lot.
Yeah.
But like the boxes are cheap and they're pre-built.
Yeah.
So you just got to paint them or whatever. But I think it's neat that it's come out, which is another really.
But
good
the fact that things like this, because we're big tabletop guys, we like that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
The fact that there are more options, there are newer options, and people are finding ways to make it simple to play.
Yeah, it gets a lot more people in it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and I like MCP, my Marvel Crisis Protocol is like, I mean, the games are relatively short in comparison to other things.
Well, I know, like,
Warhammer,
if you're playing Warhammer, that's exactly where I was going. I mean, and I would,
because this is a skirmish game, not a war game.
Yeah, well, I mean, because like with Warhammer, I really love like the miniatures.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're just amazing. And some people that have entire armies painted, I'm like, oh my gosh, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of rules. There's a lot of lore.
Now Kill Team is like the. I mean, I know somebody may correct me, but Kill Team is their 40K skirmish game. So it's smaller units, and it's much like MCP is a skirmish game. Star Wars Legion is not a skirmish game. There is a skirmish version of it that nobody plays. But
I wonder why that is.
it sucks.
Is it?
I don't know. I've never played it, so I can't. I don't know. I'm just pulling shit out of my ass. But
What?
But that is a skirmish, a skirmish game. And I like. Legion is my competitive game, and it sometimes, unless it's like me and Nathan playing and we play a game in 45 minutes because we play fast, but it's more long. It's not that long, but it's a more strategic kind of thing like that. For this one, I mean, I think MCP has a big competitive place, but that's not what I want.
Is it more like a 30-minute type kind of
I think it's
battle?
like a 45, less than an hour kind of a thing, depending on once you learn the rules, you get faster. But, it's a beer and pretzels type thing. And I think I love the miniatures. So that's what I've been doing, is painting those guys. I've had a good time, and I appreciate the compliments from you looking at them, and so I'm really excited about that, and it's pretty fun. But I'm ready to get back into some scale stuff. That's why I got to finish these Germans, and
There's always a new project.
Well, I'm going to do some vignettes, and I printed, as you can see, this corner of a building here, and I'm excited about this. Of course, it's split a little bit because the printer jacked it up, but that's okay. It's a busted building. I bought some over there. I bought
Some balsa wood.
it's basswood, but pretty similar. And I'm going to build an upper floor where it's busted,
Oh, okay.
and then a lower floor, and it's broken down and stuff. And I'm going to put that anti-tank gun, I think, inside the house,
Shooting out the
and
window or
have some of
something.
the machine gun guys covering it and stuff like that. And I've got some, I've got basing material and things. So that's going to be. I'm a little nervous about doing it because I want it to look good, but I've been watching a lot of videos of people doing it. I think it'd be fun. I think it's a fun way to display some stuff. So that's kind of what I'm working towards and things like that. So 2025. What are we looking forward to for 2025?
Well, there's a lot of costume stuff. Like I said, the 3D printer is going to come in handy for that. There's a big convention that we're going to in Kentucky in March, so I'm hoping to have everything ready.
Lexicon?
For it. Yeah. And I'm working on Juggernaut for my friend John.
What are you doing?
Magneto.
You're going to do the Magneto.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then the girls are going to do Polaris and Scarlet Witch for me.
Sweet.
And cosplay Cody, he's going. We're doing a big X-Men group.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
So I think I've got his son Brody talked into doing Quicksilver. So I have some baddies with me.
Well, didn't Cody do Quicksilver once?
I don't think he did Quicksilver. He did Iceman.
That's it. He did Iceman. That's right.
He actually took a skateboard.
Yeah,
and
I remember
froze it.
now. Now it's
Yeah.
working right. Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that. And the one thing I'm really looking forward to, because the girls, we always have our D&D night.
Yeah.
The girls are always wanting to come. I'm like, no, you can't go play. That's my thing. You can't play with us.
Yeah.
And this past time, the December game, I was heading out, and Kaylee asked, she goes, well, Daddy, when can we play? And I'm like, well, I can teach you to play if you really want to learn. I can teach you, because they're 13,
Yeah.
They can, I think, handle the concepts of rolling dice and adding numbers, and use your imagination if it's something you want to do.
Right.
And so I think that we're going to learn D&D.
Ah, cool.
So I'm looking forward to that. I said, just let me get through March first, get this, because I got to, she's like, well, I'm working on my costume. I said, I know you are, baby.
That's awesome.
She goes, I don't know how I'm going to do the headpiece. And I'm like, look, if we can find a file somebody's made, we can print it. And she got really excited. See, what was this? This would have been Wednesday night. I was unboxing the printer because I've not had time to get everything out, get it set up.
Right.
So I've had it for a few weeks. It was Christmas, but it,
Yeah.
it sat out in the garage, and so she actually came out and was helping me unbox it and set everything up. And it was neat to see the kind of like her interest. She was kind of like, well, what do you, and I'm like, well, this does this, and then she's like, oh, okay. And so I had been given an old Ender 3. And so I'm thinking about setting that up and being like, okay, here's one for you to learn on. Make her learn the hard way.
Yeah. Hey, but they're good. I mean, they're just frustrating.
Yeah,
sometimes.
they are. But we were, because she was asking, she's like, well, how do you print things? I said, well, people make files. And I said, you can learn to model. And so she kind of got interested in that. And so I said, well, let's just go mess around. And I was setting up my Creality account. And they've got, you can go in and buy files on it. And first page we click on, and there's an Axolotl.
Yep.
The little
One of the flexible deals?
No, it's
Oh, a little statue like that.
little statue.
Yeah.
But it's, what is it? I always call it the bearded lizard samurai dragon thing.
It's an aquatic creature.
Yes, but it's salamander or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so I always make up some crazy name just because I know it drives her crazy. But apparently that is the thing for kids right now. They love those.
Okay.
And on the first page, somebody had a model. So I was like, all right, we'll buy it. We'll try to print it out. And see what we sew. And then I had a really bad day at work. It was, a long day. So we didn't get to try it. So we're going to try this weekend to print. So I'm trying to show her some stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. Tinkercad.
Yeah.
Which I haven't messed with much, but because I'm older and I don't care.
I've played around.
But they're young and have.
Yeah, I mean, it's like may end up having to buy like just a computer to do.
I just want to find
CAD work in.
It's just like somebody make the file, like Brian.
Yeah.
I was like, Brian, I need this, and he goes, okay, and he sent it to me. Yeah.
Now I admire people that can go in 3D model because that is amazing.
Oh, Brian's ridiculous though.
Yeah.
And I know he listens, but I'm gonna toot the horn for him. I mean, he's like, oh, you know what? I think I'm gonna learn to blacksmith.
Yeah, he will do stuff like
And
that.
his ass was making incredible blades.
This is a jelly roll.
I'm gonna take this spring.
Sealed it out,
I'm gonna take this spring off a
made a Damascus
freaking trampoline
blade.
in here. Look. And he did it. And he's like, and then he got bored with it and decided he's gonna do something else. Oh, what was the other thing? Oh, learn how to fly a helicopter. So he learned how to fly a helicopter. Got his, and now he's like woodworking. I'm going to do some woodworking.
3D
modeling.
modeling.
I'm just going to. He's one of those guys.
Yeah.
Dadgummit.
It's just like, let me touch. Oh, okay, I know how to do this. It's like in the Matrix.
Yeah.
It's like, Trinity, do you know how to fly a helicopter? Hang on a minute. She's like, I need a program. And she's okay, let's go.
Yeah, that's Brian. the most inventive way to kill monsters in D&D.
I know, Kung Fu.
we don't want to go down that path, but that's really cool though.
But yeah,
that you're going to teach them to do some stuff.
I do like that, and like I said, get into 3D printing, get into D&D, because it would be nice to have that next generation.
Yeah.
I really thought about like breaking them right off the bat and throw them in second edition. It's like, you will learn Thaco.
No, you don't want to do that. That's a bit too much.
We may go third edition. Well, no, the one thing is, I've thought about letting them making them a D&D Beyond account. So if they want to do their own characters, they can do that.
Take the Phandelver, the base, the base entry thing, and run them through that. It's like the official first quest kind of thing, but I think it's simple enough to run through.
But I mean, looking forward to doing that, because
cool.
they've showed interest in it for a while. But I'm like,
Well, I tell you something that's funny is my son Brady. He's him and some of his buddies on Christmas vacation. They've been playing like these indie games together online.
Okay,
and I think they're screen recording it. I think they're going to start posting them or something to make video like YouTube videos. He's done it before, but they're like doing these monster hunt games or ghost hunt games and things like that, because I can hear them and they're having a good time with it. But he's like, let me drive to Target. So he drove me to Target, and he bought a pod mic.
Oh, really?
At Target. He goes, you like your mics? Are they good? And I was like, yeah. And of course he knows all about the microphones. He goes, I'm getting too much. He had I forgot what he had, but he was getting like the ceiling fan.
He was getting too much reverb.
So he wanted like ours.
And
how we tell people that you gotta.
It's always funny. Now bring the mic in.
You
real
gotta
close
act like you like it. Because
I'll talk to it.
Yeah, and that worked out great for him. So I was like, it's cool.
Is he got a swivel arm that hangs down? And
oh yeah. He's got a I think it's a Rode one.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, and because he was like, you like your Rodes? I'm like, heck yeah, I like
yeah, we do.
So
it's funny because like if you watch people that are podcasting, like 95% of them has got.
And if they're using headphones or using a Rode pod mic, most of the time if they're not, they've got that other Rode,
the longer one with the popper on,
because they're wanting more surround stuff.
I don't know.
Anyway, whatever. So that's pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to see what he's doing with that. But personally, on my end, I'm looking forward to nerd wise is more D&D sessions for us, obviously.
Yes.
Trying to get better at Legion like I always do. I mean, I won that last tournament. I was pretty happy about that, but I want to keep it going. I don't want it to be a one-shot kind of thing. Me and Shield J.
He's a contender, folks. He's a contender.
Yes. God, I get too competitive. But me and Shield J learning some MCP and goofing off for that.
Yeah.
And then, my scale models, man. I'm excited about that. There is a local scale models show coming up. And I think I actually better look. It may be February, maybe March. I can't remember. But I got to look it up again because they do. There's a contest, so I want to enter some of my scale models in the contest.
Oh, okay, kind of like what Rocky Top and Gig Hound was doing.
But this is for like scale models. So I want to enter some of my scale World War II models. I think, and I'm going to see if they got a statue competition.
Yeah, some you're going to put in on it.
Yeah, I just got to decide which one or more. But talking about Rocky Top, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we'll do something with them on that. But if it occurs, I'm sure it will. I'll play Legion again, but I want to see if I can get gold medal awards in modeling and painting. The painting competition. That's what it is. Painting competition. Because I got 2 silvers and a bronze for the 3 entries. I did 3 entries last year, and I'll toot my own horn. I got 2 silvers and a bronze out of Legion stuff, and then 1 Reaper miniature that I painted and made a little base for it. But this year, I want to see if I can get, as soon as the categories come out, see if I can enter something in more categories than that, and see what I can pull off, because I was really interested last year, and I told him when I entered the stuff, I'm like, look, I don't know if it's any good, but I enjoy doing it, and I want
You were wanting feedback.
You
was
guys
what you
get
were
feedback.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh yeah, so you get the synopsis of the grade card.
Yeah.
For the stuff, and I'm like, dang, that's awesome. That's good stuff. So I did learn some stuff from it, and tried to apply that. So I am looking forward.
That's
to
one
that.
of the best things, because I remember when our buddy Patrick had a shop up in town, and they were doing a Warhammer one. Well, I'm like, I don't know, but I paint minis, so
Yep.
So
You paint minis?
well, I have a bunch that are painted. I have a bunch that will probably never be painted.
Bring them here. I'll fix them for you.
But the one thing that I learned from that was how important the grade sheet was. They told me, they said, paint wise, yours was by far the best. You had the most detailed. Your basing sucked, and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "I got to stand on this little fire." It was like the little base, and it was like this rock.
We
outcrop.
never based anything.
Well,
back in
I
the
just
day,
painted it like lava, like red and black, and everybody else is building like dioramas and dropping theirs in, and they're like, "That's what got you," and I'm like, "Oh."
I base everything.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like if it's my playable Legion guys.
Well, it's like you based the ones that I got you to do.
Yeah,
you
but
based
I
those.
upped it on those.
And because he's like, "Hey, do these guys want their space?" And I'm like, well, "It doesn't matter. We don't care, And so he does his, like, I've got the guy, his backstory, he's a football player, and he's standing there, and Chad makes it look like football field.
Yep.
And I was just like, that was so cool, because I wouldn't have thought, to put the stuff down.
And
like
then the guy on the
turf,
motorcycle, I put dotted white.
Yeah, the
white lines,
line. Yeah.
So that was
So things
cool.
like that, little things that you learn.
I love bringing this gray or black plastic, whatever you printed it,
Yeah.
or whatever you buy it. I love to bring it to life.
But those notes make such a difference.
Yeah, and these guys are professional contract painters.
Yes.
They've won big awards and things like that. So I was really happy to get the feedback.
Well, that was worth the price of it. Admission.
Yeah, and I learned a lot of stuff from it. And I was really surprised, and I expected to just go get my grade.
It's like,
cards,
this
but
is a nice attempt. Here's what's wrong.
Well, here's your silver, and here's your silver, and here's a bronze. And I'm like, holy crap. And I was like, all right, cool.
So you're really looking forward to
I'm looking to up it.
and
I'm looking to up it and see what I can, because I get friends and family, and then on my Instagram page, I get like, those are cool. They look great. Those are, and I'm like, thanks. But I wanted somebody independent to go,
Yeah, well,
So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it makes a difference when you have somebody that has no bias.
Because that's my big hobby, And
Really, I hadn't noticed.
Yeah, sold all my vintage toys to make room for
your
making
meetings.
stuff. But you know what? It's fantastic. So I'm looking forward to that kind of stuff. I've been doing World War II scale models. I've actually done more figures than I thought I would, but I wanted this machine gun set because it's cool. But I've done a couple of vehicles over there, and an anti-tank gun. But I'm looking forward to doing. I've done all German stuff, so I'm looking forward to doing. I got a couple Shermans, so some American armor. Looking forward to some American armor. I've got a Japanese armor over there, which I can't even find at local stores. Mom bought it online, so I was super happy about that.
That'd be something different, though.
And then I got 2 aircraft, which I haven't done.
Oh, you're not?
I haven't done since, it's years, like 18 years probably. I haven't done any model aircraft. And I've got 2 over there. I got a Corsair and an ME-262. So I'm looking forward to doing those aircraft in 2025. And I'm also wanting to do a car or a truck, gloss paint.
Yeah, make it.
And something like that. Make it pristine looking. I'm pretty good, and I love making stuff look beat up and old. But I want to
Try to make it look
nice, a
and
traditional, like a hot rod or something, just to test my skills in doing that. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't have one right now, and I'm gonna knock through a couple more of these scale World War II guys, and then I'm gonna go down, Hobbytown or somewhere and find me, something, I don't know what, 68 freaking Camaro or
like
something. I don't know, or something like that. That would be fun, or an F-100, truck, something fun to add, to where it's just something different.
Well, we have a definite wheelhouse that we kind of stay in, where it's it's more of the sci-fi fantasy stuff. like I said, I've not really painted anything in a long time because I kind of shifted and went into cosplay, stuff.
That's your art.
And I've really gotten to where I enjoy building props.
I always love making props, man.
And now I got a new tool to help build some of the stuff that I'm like,
heck yeah,
man, I would love to do that, but I don't have and to make it out of foam it's not going to look as good, and having that other option. So I'm looking forward to that. And the girls, they're really looking forward. They're wanting to do more conventions. So I think now that we can I can build some props for them.
That'd be fun.
Because I mean, time is always the problem. Is there's never enough time.
Absolutely.
So if I can print things, when you can print a helmet in a day or less, it makes a big difference than trying to do it out of foam, which could take several days.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to that. So I know we're going to do Lexington. We may go to Cincinnati. I know John and Adam really like that one. I've always done that one as a comic book show.
Yeah.
Because usually they have really good guests. So I'm looking forward to seeing who they get this year because not this past year, but the year before, I met Jim Lee and got some books signed. I did get to meet Larry Hama again at Dragon Con this past year, so I know he's going to be there's a show in the Chattanooga area, FarleyCon. He's going to be at it, so I'm looking forward to going down there and maybe I may get another sketch from him, just because it's Larry Hama. So there's a few conventions I'm looking forward to than that, and just kind of seeing where I know the Superman movie's coming out. I'm kind of waiting to see what's going to happen on it. I know there are some other projects that are in the works. So, like the Henry Cavill's Warhammer, wait and see how it does. So, hopefully there's some good
2025.
shows. Hopefully there's some good shows in 2025.
2025 is going to be a good one. We'd like to know, what are you guys looking forward to? I mean, what kind of stuff in the new year 2025 are you personally going to do, craft-wise, nerd-wise? What are you excited about? Anything new going to be new? Let us know, because we're excited to hear about that.
Or let us know what you'd like to hear us talk about here on the show.
Give us some show ideas, baby. Give us some show ideas. We're always about it, because we typically always figure it out as we're walking up the stairs.
Yes. So, which is what happened today.
Yeah. Hey, it worked out. It worked out just fine.
Always does.
So happy New Year, everybody. Stay tuned to the Nerdy Old Men podcast. This is the Old Bald Man Chad with Redneck West.
Yeah.